Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing this morning?
Good.
I'm playing my game, of course.
You know you're live.
Huh?
You're live.
I know.
I'm watching Roy and Becky still.
Huh?
I'm still watching Roy and Becky.
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for them. I don't expect anybody to come in yet, but,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, um, it's gonna take some getting used to doing it on Tuesdays. Ugh. So, how's this light by itself? Is it good or no?
That's good.
It's the, light Mike got me.
Yeah.
The one with the rainbow. I can't wait to do the rainbow one at night. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, I will explain rules and why I changed the date of the first AA meeting of the week. It is because a friend of mine had to change their work schedule. So, because I am able to work around other people's schedules, I decided to change the day for that person. That person knows who it is. And, yeah, I'm a few minutes early. Just figured I'd come on a little bit early and let everybody know that's why I changed it. Um, like I said, the only reason why I started this channel is for the people that need it. It's a gift that I receive for free and that I give for free.
I'll be right back.
Okay. So, I'm not a professional at this live business and this all the videos. I'm working on my second year of being a content creator. So bear with me as I am growing my channel. And so I will be going live from now on until otherwise said. I'll be going live Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m., Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m. or at 7:30 a.m., and on Saturdays, unless if I'm out of town with no service, Saturday mornings at 11 a.m., all Pacific Standard Time. So I don't leave my state usually, unless if I'm like going right over the bridge. And so that is the plan. Tuesdays and Saturdays will be AA. And Wednesdays are my upcoming trips and what we've got planned for our adventures coming up, which we've got a few that we are working on. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be able to go live on those. So, yeah. Yes, you can ask a question. I'm open to answering questions. And so the rules. There is no bullying, no judging. Don't be rude to people. This is a positive platform. It's to help others. And if you're not into listening to talk about Alcoholics Anonymous or any of those type subjects, which you can use the basic things out of AA for everything. So it does help for other issues as well. Like Box Van D said, I appreciate everyone that is subscribed to my channel, everyone that watches my videos, and if it's a negative comment in my comments, hey, you still took the time to watch it, and I appreciate that. Or you left a comment. That's still a view, that's still, helping me out. I'd rather not have them, however, but.
I'm gonna answer a question really quick.
But.
So the chat is not uploaded, and the names will not be revealed of who is in the meeting. That is how we keep it anonymous. It's just us telling our story and reading out the books. You don't have to worry. Your names will not be revealed to anybody in any chats or any live streams or comments or anything else. If you want to leave a comment after the live stream, that is up to you, and we will do our best to get back to you. If it's any questions or anything, you don't have to comment afterwards. It's just to help tell our story so that it may help someone else, and that is how it's anonymous.
I try to not to say the hellos unless if that person has already given me specific approval to say their name in the feed. So I will just wave or I say hello. I will not be saying your names unless if you give me that okay first. So that will clarify that. If you feel I'm not saying hello to everyone, I truly am. I'm just not going to say your name in here without permission. That is that other part of autonomy. So my story and Lillian's story, we have chosen to make it to where everybody can know that I'm a recovering alcoholic. And you know what? I'm quite proud of that. It is a lot of work. And it takes a lot of patience and a lot of time to reflect on yourself and realize, hey, there's other people out here. And that's why I decided to go here on my platform to broadcast anyone that is not able to get to a meeting or would like to have a meeting where nobody knows anything except for in my chat. That is what this is for. I was given this gift for free, and it is something I'm very passionate and very positive about. I try to educate people, even in person-to-person contact. If somebody hears me saying I'm a recovering alcoholic, and they opt to say, hey, I'm also recovering, or how do I get into that program? I know how to point you in a direction. So everything we do here is completely confidential, other than the people in the chat can read your chats. So if you don't want them to know anything about your name or what have you in the chat, just refrain from commenting. Just being here is great. Other people don't have to know that you're here. And I'm just doing this to spread the word that there is help for everyone.
And
So,
also, too, if you don't feel like putting your name in the chat, you don't have to chat. It is
yes.
totally anonymous that way.
Yep.
If you don't mind that your name is in the chat and other people know that you're here, that is fine as well.
Yeah.
AA was given to me for free, like my sister was saying, and it does help. There's no judgment. You know, we're not here to say this is exactly what you should do, how you should do it, or anything else. We read out the book, like I said, and we give you information about our journey of getting sober and staying sober. So,
Yep.
anyways, with that,
Okay, so I always put in the description what book, the page, and I do the Serenity Prayer before the meeting starts. If you know it, you can say it along. If you don't, that's okay too. I didn't know it, and I learned it, and I know it by heart. And I know my steps by memory, and that's how it works. Is you learn it, and it internalizes here, and then you just do it in your daily life. So I'm going to say the Serenity Prayer, and then I will do the steps, and then we will get on to Tradition 4 on 146. And,
I'll be right back.
all right. Okay, so God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And if you have a 12-step book, you can read along. If not, it's all right, because I'm going to read the whole thing anyways. But yeah. Okay. Step 1. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Made a decision to turn our lives and our will over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. Admitting to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to have all these defective characters. 7. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all people we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made direct amends wherever possible, except when to do so would injure yourself or others. 10. Continue to take personal inventory, and when wrong, promptly admit it. 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only knowledge for His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12. Having a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Thank you, Jolly. I appreciate you.
Somebody asked, can I invite someone?
Yes. Yes. You can invite anyone you want to invite. If you have a friend or a family member that you know is in the need of the help from this, invite them. everyone is welcome to join these meetings. And we are on tradition 4. Each group should be an autonomous, except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. Here's the autonomy. Autonomy is a $10 word, but in relation to us, it means very simply that every AA group can manage its affairs exactly as it pleases, except when AA as a whole is threatened. Comes now the same question raised in tradition 1. Isn't such liberty foolishly dangerous? Over the years, every conceivable
deviation
from our 12 steps and traditions has been tried. That was sure to be, since we are so largely a band of ego-driven individualists, children of chaos. We have definitely played with every brand of fire, only to emerge unharmed and, we think, wiser. These very deviations created a vast process of trial and error, which, under the grace of God, has brought us to where we stand today. When AA's tradition were first published in 1946, we had become sure that an AA group could stand almost any amount of battering. We saw that the group, exactly like the individual, must eventually conform to whatever tested principles would guarantee survival. We had discovered that there were perfect safety in the process of trial and error. So confident of this had we become that the original statement of AA tradition carried the significant sentence, any 2 or 3 alcoholics gathered together for sobriety may call themselves an AA group, provided that a group they have no other affiliation.
This meant, of course, that we had been given the courage to declare each AA group an individual entity, strictly reliant on its own conscience, as a guide to action. In charting this enormous expanse of freedom, we found it necessary to post only 2 storm signals. A group ought not to do anything which would greatly injure AA as a whole, nor ought it affiliate itself with anything or anybody else. There would be real danger should we commence to call some groups wet, others dry, still others Republicans or communists, and yet others Catholic or Protestant. The AA group would have to stick to its course or be hopelessly lost. Sobriety had to be its sole objective. In all other respects, there was perfect freedom of will and action. Every group had the right to be wrong. When AA was still young, lots of eager groups were forming in a town we'll call Middletown. A real crackerjack had started up. The townspeople were as hot as firecrackers about it. Stargazing, the elders dreamed of innovations about it. They figured the town needed a great big alcoholic center, a kind of pilot plant AA group could duplicate everywhere. Beginning on the ground floor, there would be a club. In the second story, there would sober up drunks and hand them currency for their back debts. The third deck would house an educate project, quite non-controversial, of course. In imagination, the gleaming center was to go up several stories more, but 3 would do for a start. This would all take a lot of money, other people's money. Believe it or not, wealthy townsfolk bought the idea. There were, though, a few conservations dissenters among the alcoholics. They wrote the foundation AA headquarters in New York wanting to know about this sort of streamingly. They understood that the elders, just to nail things down good, were about to apply to the foundation for a charter. These few were disturbed and skeptical.
Of course, there was a promoter in the deal, a super promoter. By the eloquence he allayed all fears, despite advice from the foundation that it could issue no charter, and that ventures which mixed an AA group with medication and education had come to sticky ends elsewhere. To make things safer, the promoter organized 3 corporations and became president of them all. Freshly painted, the new center shone. The warmth of it all spread through the town. Soon things began to hum. To ensure foolproof, continuous operation, 61 rules and regulations were adopted. But, alas, this bright scene was not long in darkening. Confusion replaced serenity. It was found that some drunks yearned for education, but doubted if they were alcoholics. The personality defects of others could be cured, maybe with a loan. Some were club-minded, but it was just a question of taking care of the lonely heart. Sometimes the swarming applicants would go for all 3 floors. Some would start at the top and come through the bottom, becoming club members. Others started in the club, pitched a binge, were hospitalized, and graduated to education on the 3rd floor. It was a beehive of activity, all right. But unlike a beehive, it was confusion compound. An AA group as such simply couldn't handle this sort of project. All too late, that was discovered. Then came the
Inevitable.
inevitable explosion. Something like that day, the boiler burst in Wombly Clapboard factory. A chill choke damp of fear and frustration fell over the group. When that lifted, a wonderful thing had happened. The head promoter wrote the foundation office. He said he wished he'd paid some attention to AA experience. Then he did something else that was to become an AA classic. It all went on a little crud about golf
Card.
score size. The cover read, Middleton Group number 1, rule number 62. Once the card was unfolded, a single pungent sentence leaped to the eye. Don't take yourself too damn seriously. Thus it was that under Tradition 4, an AA group exercised its right to be wrong. Moreover, it had performed a great service for Alcoholics Anonymous because it had been humbly willing to apply the lesson it learned. It had picked itself up with a laugh and gone on to better things. Even the chief architect, standing in the ruins of his dream, could laugh at himself, and that is the very acme of humility. Now in here it says, in 1954, the name of the Alcoholic Federation Incorporated was changed to the General Service Board of Alcoholics Anonymous Incorporated, and the foundation office is now the General Service Office. So, yes, when we are first getting sober, we do take everything completely literal. I mean, we are like hard on ourselves, thinking that we're not doing it right, that we're gonna fail at this, we need to do this, and we need to do that. It's all confusing. But as you go, and if you have a fall down, you come back like, oh, just like in the steps, you get that aha moment. You need to think to yourself that it's okay. If you fail at something, it is okay. Get up, dust it off, laugh about it, move on. I mean, there's no reason to get so worked up over this stuff or going mumbo jumbo, having all these things not being wonderful, or it falls apart, and it happens. It's life. Hey, I went back to smoking. I had 60 days with no smoking, but you know what? I'm going to do it again. Because life is a lesson. We learn throughout our entire lives. Every day, we learn something new. And, you get thrown on a curve, take it back, try it again. Not everything goes as you plan.
I have learned since being sober that I'm not perfect. Even though I'm sober, I'm not perfect.
Yep.
I don't look like everybody else. I may not have teeth and, this kind of stuff. I'm not everybody else, and I am not perfect. And what I read in that step is that nobody is perfect. You will fall off the AA train. I mean, you not for sure, but it happens. So come back.
Yep.
Keep coming back. That's the only thing I know what to say is it helps to have this meeting here on this platform with my sister now that I feel safe. I don't have to put myself in a building with a bunch of people. And I wish, we could help more and more people because it does work. See, it happens. Nobody is perfect, but if you read your book or come to this meeting or go to an actual meeting in person, they will help you. They will accept you no matter what, because that is what AA does, and that's what it has taught me, is to open up my my eyes and my heart, and I appreciate this platform because I have a lot of friends here on YouTube, and if one of them is struggling or a stranger is struggling, if it helps them, then we have achieved what my sister set out to do with this part of her channel. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful for AA. I'm grateful for my sister. I'm grateful for my sobriety.
Yeah.
Autonomy is, you don't go off and run and tell people names, or you can talk about somebody's story, but you can't tell anybody whose story. I can tell my story all I want to. I was drinking for quite a few years. I didn't want to get sober. I thought AA is for quitters. My sister kept nagging me, and then she stopped nagging me, and she called me one day and she says, "There's an AA meeting tonight. Would you like to go with me?" And I said, "Okay, I'll go." And I went. I came back home thinking I was going to stay sober. I drank that night. I drank all but 3 beers that I had in my fridge. Okay? I never touched them again, and it's been 8 years. Almost 8 years. July 19th will be 8 years. And, it's a wonderful gift. I understand why my sister wants to do this. It's really inspiring to watch my sister grow and share her AA story.
Thank you. It's great to watch you grow too, and everybody else that I have said, hey, let's go to a meeting. You want to go to a meeting with me? I can help you with this, and here's this. Like I've said in my other previous AA meetings on here, I actually did delete a lot because people were making fun of me. That was dumb. I should have left them, but
Thank you.
so I have helped people, and I've given away 3 of these, 3 of them, and I've given away at least 2 or 3 of the big books. And the reason why is because I might have paid for this book, but I was also giving book for free. So it goes around, I gave one of my sisters a big book.
Also, you can find the books
This
on
big book.
Amazon. You can also rent them at the library.
Yeah. There's a lot of places that you can get these books. You can go to a meeting and say, hey, I've been learning about AA. You don't have to say where you learned it from or anything like that. And I was wondering, how do I go about getting a book? They may give you one for free, but you just have to want it. You have to want it for yourself. And that's where I got lucky. I wanted it. I had to leave my family. Literally, I went on a off-grid completely. I had a phone. That was it. I had no power, no running water. I was on a blank piece of land. And I was still getting drunk for no point, no reason. And I was by myself I had my husband and my son, but they weren't drinking with me. And so it got boring. And being that far away from the store actually helped. And so I was up on this blank piece of land. I was like, what's the point? Why am I doing this to myself? I had been sober a year before. I went a complete year with no drinking and thought, I can go take a drink. So yeah, I have relapsed. But before I started AA, and I did not just start off with one drink. I started off and didn't come back out for quite a while. And so I have gone back out, and I got sober, and I even had to tell Lillian, I can't talk to you. You cannot call me. Don't call me. You call me when you're drunk. Because I was trying to get myself right. Not because I hated her, or not because I didn't want to hear from her. Because I do. I did. And it was hard to listen when she was drunk. Because here I am thinking, oh no, I'm going to want to go do this now. And knowing that I have that kind of mind that, okay, she's doing it, I'm going to. And so I had to be mean. I didn't like being that way, but that's what I did. And so I came back to my hometown, and one of my friends called me, and he's like, you want to meet me at an AA meeting? Because I'm recovering too, and I need to get back into it, I was like, all right, yeah, sounds good to me. And guess what? By the time I left that meeting, I was already thinking, because I was already sober for 8 months. No, I was sober for about 3 months, I think. But I was like, okay, I got numbers from the females, because that's one thing that they do. They pass around their number card and give you their phone numbers so you can reach out when you need someone to talk to about it. I will not personally give out my number here, but I will at a meeting. So I got the numbers, and I went back to my in-laws, or maybe it was back to my parents' house, and I was like, I'm gonna call. And I called quite a few numbers, and the first person that picked up their phone became my first sponsor. I now have 2 or 3 sponsors that I talk to. Not on a regular basis, but I do talk to them when I'm having a problem. Some of them I don't even have to say anything. I just text them, and they can tell by my text that something is wrong. So, but that is what I was told needed, that I needed to do. I needed to get a sponsor. Then I needed to start working my steps. I paused on step 4 for 4 months. 4 months it took me to get up the courage to write out what I needed to write that was right here, that wouldn't go away, that was still bugging me every single day. It was bringing me down, and I wrote it all down. I gave it to my sponsor, who's the only person that got to read it besides me, and she explained to me what I could fix and things that were not my fault, because there was a lot of it that was not my fault. A lot of it was me. But so after having all of that and realizing, okay, that's what I need to do, I held on to that for another month. I went to my sponsor again, and I said, should I burn this? And she's like, if that's how you can feel like you're getting rid of it, do it. And I burnt it. I still have the thought of the one biggest thing that happened to me as a child that I will never forget. I forgave him years and years ago, not for him, for myself. So, and that's that. Dust it off and keep going.
Yep.
And I also learned that I cannot control anyone but me. And if I'm not right for me in my mind, I am not in the right to be able to go and judge anyone else or put blame on someone else or take care of someone else. I have to be okay for me. I can only control me. So what one other person does, that's beyond my control. And I can just give advice and spread my positive learning from this program to other people that may need it. And I have this platform that I become comfortable using. I'm going to give it. And I even asked my first moderators, should I do this on here? I was told, I don't know if it's such a great idea. So I pondered it for a while. I've been doing YouTube now for a year, a little over a year. I think October was a year. And I was like, actually, I'm going to. Because I can give it for free, and that's something that I want to do. And we need to, remember, have humility. You have to laugh. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't, don't be stick in the mud. Don't be a snob. Be you. Do you. And
Don't
that's
judge
pretty
other
much
people.
It's pretty much it, you just gotta do you. And don't be too hard on yourself. Nobody's perfect. And you gotta laugh it off and move on.
Exactly the good step that somebody was asking about at the beginning of the live stream. Autonomy.
Yep.
How do you have autonomy here? And
I'm gonna
so
scroll and you can talk.
that's been discussed, and I think this is great. And now that you have figured out StreamYard and how to bring me up, it really helps that I can be here on the panel with you, show you support, and also show other people that you really are not alone in this journey. There are people out there that are going through the same thing. And yes, old wounds, if you talk about it, it may help someone else. Because everybody has similar stories, but they're not all exactly the same. I'm grateful for the chat me in here right now. That really builds up the confidence in both of us. I don't know. I'm emotional. So, anyways, sis.
And I want to say thank you all for coming here and supporting my channel. I seriously do appreciate everyone so very much. It means a lot to me that you're taking time in your day to be part of a big thing for a lot of people. It's not easy.
Same here. AA saved my life and my family. I have a better relationship now with my kids than I've ever had since they were, little. I have a better relationship with my sister. You know, I owe it to AA that I'm even sitting here, because I was going down that path of I was actually trying to drink myself to death. You know, and I'm just grateful for AA that it's a huge thing.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, it is open, but other people cannot see who is in the chat.
No.
Period.
No.
It is not uploaded. If it is, it's removed immediately. Comments are enabled, but you don't have to comment.
No. And I can actually I can make them so that you cannot comment.
Yeah.
But I have to do that on the YouTube side.
I would do that. That way everybody here knows that this is not going to be put out there. We will be put out there, but the chat and comments are not.
Yeah.
If it helps somebody, that's all we're trying to do, is help somebody. So with that,
and for my travel channel, or for my adventure channel, I do have a GoFundMe linked on my descriptions, but this is not collecting for AA at all, because AA is free, period.
I would wait and do that tomorrow on your adventure.
Yeah, I just
figured
I'd throw it out there, but but that's what that is, because it is in my description. So if that's what you're seeing in my description, that's why.
Yes, you can trust us. We don't. It's totally confidential. We're going to be public, but other people here will not be public. It was the chat was uploaded once on accident, and then she started deleting videos of the AA meetings because she wanted to make sure that it was not accessible for other people.
Yeah. But anyways, we've been up here for an hour. I
have one more thing to say.
Okay.
If you are in the chat, please, please, please do not go and tell other people in other chats who is in the chat or who is recovering or trying to get help or anything else. It's none of anybody else's business other than people who are here. So thank you for coming.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming, and I look forward to continue doing my meetings and being a positive role model and a positive presence here for other people to get sober and become the better person that they want to be. It is completely worth every single day. And I am 8 years and 4 months sober. And my sister will be 8 years on July 19th. And so I'm very proud. Very proud.
So,
yes, same time Saturday. Yep. Same time.
Same time Saturday morning. What about your live tomorrow, Sandra?
Huh?
What about your live that you do tomorrow?
Yes, I go live tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for my adventure channel.
Well, it's the
It's
same
all
channel.
one channel, but it's different topics. So, yeah.
That's
But
okay. If you can't make it, that's okay. We understand. Everybody
yep,
has a life, you know. Not
yep,
everybody
everybody
can be
does.
everywhere at one time. So that's understandable. You know,
Yep.
some days I may not be able to make it because I'm taking a nap or, doing something else.
Yeah.
But
So, but I'm gonna close the meeting, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I love every one of you guys, and I love AA and the whole, So, and thank you for doing the meetings with me, Lil, and helping me with reading. And I appreciate you and all your support that you give me. And thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Never forget, I appreciate everything that everybody does for everyone here. And so we're going to close out with the Serenity Prayer and have a lovely day and a great week. God,
God, grant
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Keep
keep
coming
coming
back.
back. It
It
works.
works if you work it.
Work it. Have a
Love
great
you
day,
guys.
everyone.
Have a great one. Amen.